I'm very impressed by it all the time. I still can't play it. Been playing guitar for 10 years, still can't play it, you know?
How does that solo go?
Oh, I think you're going, how does that make you feel? That you suck so bad. The solo from Hellsong by Sum 41. Because it just rips, dude. It just slaps. It just gets it done.
Hellsong. Yeah, I would have to go with Hellsong. That was actually the first riff I learnt to get into the band that we were before Tonight Alive. So it was like, Cam was like, you can play Hellsong? Okay, you're in.
Something like that.
I even did the dance with it. How sick is that?
That is the riff. And if you don't know it, check it out. It is just... It's just so good, and it's not by a band everyone knows. It's not by a huge band that plays arenas. It's not a Led Zeppelin or a Metallica riff. It's by CKY, and the song, I believe, is called 96 Quite Bitter Beings. So check it out. It is just an insanely catchy riff. It just has all the elements of a classic riff, and I think it just stands alone at the top of the list.
I feel like a lot of people who heard it for the first time were either like trying to get into guitar or they were playing Tony Hawk, and that. Why is everybody laughing? Y'all ever played video games before?
I grew up in the Tony Hawk video game generation, and that song is just linked with that world. It has this. Not only is it insanely catchy, but it has this cool vibe to it. I've never heard a riff like it, and the second it comes on, everyone knows exactly what it is and can sing. It's not even words. They can just sing the notes, I guess, which I thought was pretty cool, especially when it doesn't have lyrics attached to that melody.
Whenever that song came on, you're like, all right, I'm about to find this secret tape. I'm about to find the hell out of this secret tape. And so, yeah, that just kind of like, once you hear it, it like sticks in your head for a good few days.
The first time I heard the riff was actually not in the song. It was at a band practice I was in, and one of the guitar players in the band played the riff. And I was like, what is that riff? Thinking he'd wrote it at first. And I was like, this is the best riff ever. This is like, we need to use this riff. He's like, oh yeah, no, that's CKY. I was like, oh, okay. I'd heard of the band, but I hadn't heard the riff. And that's the first time I heard the riff. And it's too bad that it was used. If there was like a way to go back in time and make them not a band, take that riff all the way to the bank.
It's a great, yeah, it's the best. Day Tripper, the Beatles. My uncle played a lot of early rock and roll music, and that was my introduction to music. And he loved Elvis. I fell in love with the Beatles, and then kind of fell out of love with it because I didn't really know what it was. And then I wanted angry music, and then I wanted hip hop, and I wanted things that weren't old. and then now I've come full circle to realize he was right. And all the music I was listening to was garbage comparatively.
Since I don't play guitar or know too much about too many riffs, I like Honey, This Mirror Isn't Big Enough for the Both of Us by My Chemical Romance. I love how that intro comes in. Something like that. I don't know. I don't play guitar, like I said. I don't know, man. It gets me like really pumped for the song. It's like very engaging, and it's just like it sets up the song perfectly, and you're just like it just locks you in. I've just always really, really liked it.
Well, you just gotta listen to it.
Last Resort by Papa Roach for sure.
Because it rips. It's just like, it's so gritty and catchy at the same time.
Best ever guitar riff, I'm gonna go with Beat It, Michael Jackson. To me, it's one of the most iconic riffs of all time. You hear the first three notes of that, you know what's coming. And it's just got this swagger to it. You hear boom, ba-dum, dum, dum, ba-da-dum. You can't not snap and sing that riff. So I have to go with that in general. Just gets me all hype.
Well, best ever guitar riff. I love guitar riffs that you hear it and you instantaneously know what it is. That makes it special. Should I Stay or Should I Go by The Clash is just one of those. Part of what makes it the best ever guitar riff for me is that the guitar is clearly out of tune. And Mick Jones doesn't give a fuck. And that's part of what makes it the best guitar riff. I mean, the idea that they're just like, look, this is our song. Take it or leave it. Fuck you. And like they don't give a fuck. They're like, they believe in it and they just do it and they lay it down and they're like, either people are gonna get this or they're not gonna get it. And it goes on to be one of the most epic, most well-known, memorable guitar riffs of all time.
Enter Sandman by Metallica. I think that's one that everyone kind of tries to jam. You know, it's like, it's simple, it's not hectic, it's memorable. And I think that's someone everyone can relate to. It's something that's simple, it's heavy, it's catchy, everyone knows it, and I think that's also important. In my experience in guitar, if you start trying to learn something that has too many notes, you find that there's like these passing notes in the riff, I'll call them for now, and they'll escape you in a way. And so when it comes to a riff like that, you know, the amount of notes in it is crucial to make it not too complicated. It makes it accessible to everyone that picks up guitar, and I think that's important. You know, there's a lot of lead work in guitar these days, and it's just like how fast can you play and how many notes you can fit into a little section. And I think that while time goes on and younger kids are getting better and better and better, and the internet and the way everything's shaping how musicians are coming up these days, I think you just can't I think like a beautiful riff, a tasteful riff is coming from inside you. You know, it's not coming from like how fast, it's not coming from, you know, a skill level. The most unskilled guitar player can come up with the most beautiful riff because it's from the heart. So I think that would be something I could say that I would aim for in this band.
The best ever riff is perhaps a bass riff. I'm a bass player. Fugazi's Waiting Room is just, the song is not the song without that like do 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 do, you know, like and everyone knows that when that starts playing it like that's the song. And that, I think that's like, again, of like a genre defining song. Like that whole DC scene was really kind of pushed around that first Fugazi record, and that's the, you know, track one, side one. I think it's like, yeah, my favorite sort of track one, side one song as well, where like you put on that record and you just like know it's happening.
Sweet Child of Mine, probably. It was just like a warm-up for him. Like, he would just do that riff just to warm up his fingers before every show, and he's just like, fuck it, let's make a fucking song out of it. So cool.
The best ever guitar riff is an extremely difficult question to answer, because there's so many amazing ones. I'm going to go, the first one that popped in my head was Matchbook by Strung Out. It's just this super catchy, awesome, like medley hook that repeats throughout the last song on their album Twisted by Design, which is my favorite Strung Out record. And I don't know, it's just like this epic guitar riff that I think is awesome.
I'm gonna go with Eruption by Van Halen. I think everybody knows that riff. When he plays stuff like that, it's his personality. Like, Van Halen's a band that doesn't necessarily need a vocalist. Like, it's great, you know, Sammy Hagar is awesome, but like to really come in there and just, I don't know, the dive bombs and everything, the expressions, the licks, he can play fast, there's some slow parts, the crescendos, it's all just an amazing piece together.